Thank you for visiting our channel. Today I came out to review and also quick unbox this awesome looking Android box. This is called Trust on X. Yes, or in a short form they just called it TOX, T-O-X. And this one is modeled 3. Yes, this bad boy comes with OS 11. Its CPU is AM Logic's S905X4 chipset. It comes with 4 GB of DDR3 RAM, and it comes with 32 gig internal storage, 5G Wi-Fi, which is done by Realtek, and it comes with a Gigabit LAN. I do not want to forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button. Make sure you share this with your friends and family, and make sure you click the notification icon, select all in order to get notified once we have a new video out. On top of that, if you have a question, drop them at the bottom of the video. We love to help you out ASAP. And don't forget to click the like button. It really motivates us to make these type of videos quickly with a little more detail every time. In here are all the components that are part of the box. It comes with this user manual that you can see. It just have a few pages and how you can get started right in the back. We will try to capture as much as possible in this video. Now it also comes with a HDMI cable, which is inside of a plastic, and it does not indicate that this is 2.0 or 1.4, but the HDMI part is included. It also comes with a power adapter. This side will be connecting to the box itself, and this side is 5 volt 2 amps, but the one that I received is made for Asia. So this I have to find a plug to plug it in, and that way it will work for us. Now, because we are testing so many boxes, I am sure I have another 5 volt 2 amps that we could use for this box. But this is the one that I received. Now, I also received this remote, which is IR remote. It's inside of a plastic, so that way it doesn't get scratched up. But this is how it really looks. So it does have 2 functions. That means is that there's an instruction in the back that you will be able to program your TV. Now this is made for older TV that is using IR. There's the IR sensor on the top, so this way you can control this remote and it will work. But I have to mention that this is OS 11 box. This remote is very basic, and this is an IR remote. I was really wondering if I can get a air mouse remote. Now for that we have a lot of different videos. I'm sure you can view it, or you can visit our website to see more which one we recommend. The links are available in the bottom, by the way. But here you go. This is the nice looking remote. You have your functions on the top for your TV control itself. So once you program it, and then you have play and pause, volume down, volume up. You have the menu. You have the static mouse, the return key, the navigation key with the OK in the middle, and then the numeric in the bottom. But there's no other indications that which company really made this. They left this very generic. And then once you go to the back, you can open and to put 2 AAA batteries, which is not included in the box. But this is how nice the remote really looks. So it does have that little part that when you put it, it does not move. I really like that. But that part is a little bit bigger, so you can put your batteries and then the IR sensor on the top, and there's nothing else around it. Now it also comes with one antenna. Now this antenna is flipped, as you can see, and once we start playing with the box, we will show you how you can connect this and how you can play with this. And now the big part is the actual box itself. It's sitting inside of a little plastic so it doesn't get scratched up, but once you take it out, this is how the box really looks. I really like the design that they have put. There's a lot of holes for ventilation on the top and also in the bottom, but let's go through and check it out. You can see that it is very tiny, but it has all the ports that you really need for this box itself and extra. So we will get into it and let's go through and check it out. So on the top they have their name really nicely written, and then these parts are just little design, but these are the cuts so that we can see inside of it, or it can breathe. Once you go to the front part, you can see that there is a little section that once you turn it on, it will show you time and date. Then there is a little film that you can take out. There you go, nice and satisfying. So that way it doesn't get scratched up, but I took it out. Now going on one side of it, you have more holes for ventilation, and there's one spot for that antenna that came with it. So let's get that connected right now to make it very simple and easy, so you know exactly how this will look and it will feel. So yes, you can flip it on the sides and also even in the bottom. You're gonna make it like this when you hook it up, so that way it will look nice and neat. And when you go to the back part of it, you have more holes. This one is the 5-volt DC connection, so that way you can power it up. You have an HDMI connection, and then you have a LAN connection, which is a gigabit. Now going on the other side of it, you have a USB 2.0 port, USB 3.0, and if you wanted to program it using a computer, it says OTG. That's what it really means. And then also when you look on this part of it, it says TF card reader. This can read up to 128 gigabyte of microSD, and then that's about it. Now when you go to the bottom part of it, it's really nicely designed. You have these little legs so it can sit on the table really nicely. Put it like this and it doesn't move. But once you look in the bottom, there is holes for ventilation. You have a sticker for your MAC address and serial number, and there is a little spot for reset. If you ever needed to factory reset it, that's the one that you gotta hold. And if you need assistance, please ask at the bottom of the video. We love to help you guys out with that quickly. But I have to mention that you do not need to factory reset this box, because this box works different and it will work better for you. Enough said about it. Let's get this connected right now. All right, to connect, first we're going to connect our HDMI cable because of CEC, and then we're going to connect the power. And if you flip in the front, you're going to see the light, and you're going to see this part is just loading. That means it's not on totally yet. So this is the first time that this box is just loading up, and this is the icons you're going to get, and then it goes into this nice looking animation. So here are our little pieces for this video. Is starting with, once you go into the main screen, this is the launcher that you will see. I have to mention that I am using an Air Mouse remote. Links are going to be available in the bottom where you can get these ones from, except that here you go. So this is the main launcher. You have the Wi-Fi connection because we are connected via Wi-Fi. And if you connect LAN, this will change. And then you have your date and time there. That is correct. By the way, it grabs it from your IP address. And then you have huge icons for videos. These are just shortcuts that you can add more apps to it by just clicking the OK button. The app will come up, and then you can select one of them that you want it to be there. Now, I already added my video player and my YouTube. These are the only two that I have that I can play with, or you can also add VLC right there. And then let's go back and add the one that we just removed, and voila, now all three of them going to show up. Very easy. Press back, goes back to the main screen. Now if you have anything under music, yes, you have something like YouTube Music, other apps, you can add it by just clicking the plus button. And here you can go to all apps. These are most of the apps that they have installed, and a few of them that we installed, so we can do some benchmarking and some testing with this box itself. And then games is also there. You can click on it, and if you have any game installed, like I have this one, I can just put a little check mark, press back, and now it's added inside of it. Another part is setting. It will take you to settings. And when you select something like device preferences, you will get this part, and then you can go to about, and it will give you more information about the actual box name, version, and then also in the bottom the build and also the kernel version. It's all going to be available here. Now at the bottom you also have some shortcuts which we already customized by just pressing the plus button, and then you can go and add or remove some apps from here, and then you will be able to play with it very easily and very nicely. Now the first thing I want to go into is going to be Geekbench. Now we have already processed this, and under single core we received 144, and for multi-core we received 513, which is a really good number for this box with this RAM and the storage. The next thing that we wanted to go to is going to be YouTube app. Now for YouTube, the first thing that we wanted to test was if this is going to show us as 4K. So this is not the only thing that we came here for. Since this is running the OS 11 on S905X4 chipset, what we wanted to come here and show you guys is first is captured on 1080p, and there's 0 frame drop right now going through this. That's not the only thing. If you look a little bit in the bottom, you can see that this is running on 4K, but only on 20 frames per second. And if you can see the codecs, this is AV1. This is something that I wanted to bring up to you guys for a very long time to show you some boxes do support this. And yes, you can get a proper colors and proper decoder that is installed on the box, and yes, you can take advantage of it. Now you can see that this is running on AV1 and also it's using the OPUS, and it is still 0 frame drops, and it is running on 4K but in 24 frames per second. It's a perfect thing to play with on this box. So the next thing I want to go into is AIDA 64. Now AIDA 64 gives a lot of things in a raw and very good manner, so we will just go through it and tell you. In this way you learn more about the box itself. First thing first is the manufacturer name is right over here, and then the device name is there too. The hardware is AM Logic, which is the actual chip that is inside of it. If you go down, the RAM on this is 4 GB, and then going down, the internal storage is 32 GB, but this is how much is available. The rest of them has been taken care by the actual OS, and then a little partition for recovery just in case of something happens, and then the rest is for you to use for cache and for apps. That's where you see it a little bit smaller space. Another thing is the Bluetooth on this is 4+, which means this is running on Bluetooth 4.1, which is good. Still is going to work for you perfectly. Going under CPU itself, you can see that the architect on this is quad-core processor, which is running on A55, and it is running on 2004 megahertz, which is a really good thing. The actual CPU and the board itself is 64-bit, but the software on this is running on 32-bit. Going down, here's the cores, it's 4 of them, and here's the ones that what numbers they're running on, and the CPU utilization is roughly about 60% maximum, but it's always staying lower with about from 25 to 40, which is a really good thing. The scaling governor on this is scheduled, which is really cool thing that it is scheduled, and then the rest of the information that you're looking for. Now if I go to display itself, the native resolution on this is 1080p, it is 61 dpi, and the GPU on this is Mali G31, which is a single core running on 60 Hertz. It is landscape mode, and the OpenGL on this is 3.2, which means is if you want to play games on this, it will run really smoothly for you. Now when you go to network itself, yes, right now we are connected via Wi-Fi, and you can see 5G network is supported, which is a really cool thing, but you can see the dB gains and everything is very low, which is awesome when you are trying to connect and get better quality Wi-Fi out of it. Now when you go to Android itself, the Android on this is Android 11, which is called Red Velvet Cake, and then when you go down, the API on this is 30. When the security patch was added is written over there too. It's not that far, which is a really good thing. I haven't seen that much of a newer patch that is out yet in North America. Going to terminal itself, there's the SOC, the actual CPU temperature, and then the DDR, which is going to be your RAM, and then the battery itself. Well, this one does not have a battery, it just have a little space for the actual power supply, so that always going to stay low. I know that it says it's about 70. I know it should be very hot, but when I put my hand on it, it is not hot, so which is a cool thing to talk about. Going under codecs itself, I know that I already captured some of the videos and I already showed you guys, but going from the bottom, you can see it has the H.264, VP9, VP8, and then going up a little bit, you can see that there is the AVC, the H.264, and I'm just looking for, there's Dolby Vision. Now remember that this one does not have Dolby Digital, but it has Dolby Vision. There's AV1 that we were looking for. So yes, VP8, VP9, it's already there, so you will be able to play your videos very smoothly. We will get out of that too. The next thing we want to go to is going to be some video playing. So I already placed some videos for us on this list, and we are going to connect. So we're going to go one by one and play some videos. Number one is that we're going to check to see if this can play 4K and 10-bit. We just clicked on it. This is going through Wi-Fi, so it takes a couple of seconds for it to actually grab all the file. Where it's located is not in this box, so it is going to go outside on a network to grab it. And once it grabs it, you can hear it even that it sounds perfect. This is what we wanted to make sure that it doesn't freeze or it doesn't do any kind of pauses when it's playing the video. So this will pass the 10-bit and 4K video. Now this is one of our old videos that we have from Niagara Falls, and you can see that it plays it perfectly. All the little particles are played well too, so there's no pause when it plays the video itself, and it captures it correctly for us too. So I'm really in love with this box, playing it actually very well. And when it comes to 1080p, there is no doubt that it cannot play anything perfect. This is more than perfect for us, playing this video nice and smoothly going through. So this is something that we were really expecting to get out of this box that plays the video accurately. Now before we go next, I wanted to mention that this box, yes, it can play with Netflix, but you require to have an Air Mouse remote, something like I have right now. And because of certain differences that the platform that we're going to upload this to brought up, we cannot show you much of that product or that part of it. And same thing with Disney Plus. Yes, you can install it. It will play perfectly for you. Netflix is going to be standard definition, so you cannot go higher than 540p. And this is the way that we can mention it, and we do not have to add the part of the video to show you, because there's a lot of problems happening right now, and YouTube needs to really clear those parts up. But if you really require this to see it and to really like it, visit our website, and I'm sure that we have a fuller this type of video in there, and then you can see it, and I'm sure you're going to like it even more. But I would not like you to get out of YouTube, because this is how YouTube really works. So you can watch the other videos on it. Now I want to mention one more thing before we go next, is that this box does wonders. I really like it. The price is really good, and it has a lot of little potentials that you can use this for. Now here are some little parts that I don't believe a lot of people know about this box itself. So go to settings, and then we will go to device preferences. From here we will scroll down to power, and then LED screen. In here, if you scroll down, you can see it says CPU temperature. You can put a little check mark, and then CPU frequency, and then display mode. You can leave it all on, and the duration should be about 5 seconds. Now if you look in front of your box, CPU temperature, frequency is. And by the way, that little blue light that is flashing, it means it is connected to the internet. So that same power is also going to tell you that your network is working. Another little tip that I would like to give about this box is when you go to settings, and then you will go to device preferences, you're going into display and sound. A lot of people are asking for this, so here you go. When you go to orientation, from here you can click on it and you can switch it to be portrait mode, because some people like to play at portrait mode. This is how it's done. And then you want to change it back, just go back and put it landscape, and it comes back to landscape mode. So this way, if you want to use this for digital signage, this box will work for you. Now we will go into the speed test. Now for speed test, we have already processed it 4 times. I have to mention 2 things. Number 1 is that we are using a gigabit internet with 32 megabit of upload. And also I have to mention that the internet that we're using is done by Rogers. They had some ups and downs lately, and it doesn't seem that it will be really high numbers because of their fluctuation on the internet speed itself. But here you go, this is what we got out of this box. And one really cool thing is that their Wi-Fi chip that they're using on this box is done by Realtek. So it's always been really high and really high-end numbers. So here you go, number 1 is our landline connection. So you can see we got 448, and there's not much arc when it came to the speed itself. Our upload was exceeded right away, and our ping was really low, which was about 14. Now when we did it one more time, we went down a little bit, and you can see that it just stayed there, but it's still above 425, and our upload rate actually exceeded, which is 32.1, and our idle is really low, or should I say this is our ping, is very low, which is about 12. And that's what we wanted to see. Now when we went to 5G network, it just stuck to a really good number, which was matching our landline, which was 439, and we are not that far from the router, so it's about 2 rooms away. And our upload rate was really good too, which is 31.8, which is exceeding still. And there you go, this is the ping. We got about 18, so it's really good. Now when we went last time, and here you go, even got better on Wi-Fi because it has that little antenna with it, and we got about 442, and you can see the arc is keep going up and up, which we were roughly about 380, but almost ending by this number. And then our upload rate exceeded, and it just stayed steady. As you can see, our ping or idle is really good number 2, which is about 20. So this is our take on the Wi-Fi and also LAN on this box. Again, the chips that they're using really plays along well with CPU that is part of this box, and that's why you see a really good numbers when it comes to Wi-Fi, and that's why you have beautiful numbers. And also I'm sure that when you connect it, make sure that you're connecting to 5G and not mesh network. And if you do use mesh network, make sure you log into your router if it is a modem router, which is given by your ISP, to make sure there is a little section called streamer. If you're getting really bad pings and freezing when you are going to stream something, or even you are on something like YouTube app, yes, you gotta make sure that you are under streamer in order for something like this box to work perfectly, and that we do not have any type of freezing. Now playing with this box brought up a lot of things and made it a lot clearer for us. Now this is just a little bit of the video. If you want to see a full review of this, because there are certain parts that we cannot place on YouTube, it's going to be available on our website. So make sure you check that out too. And I want to mention all the links going to be available for where you can order this from, and also how smooth the video game, as I'm showing you right now, is going to be available on our website. Except that I hope you guys like this video. If you do like it, click the like button, subscribe button on the top, comment on the bottom. Always remember to visit our own website, which is xctex.info. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and other social networking places, and thank you.